Welcome to the regular board meeting for the Board of Trustees for West Ada School District. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2026 at 6:02 p.m. We're very grateful this evening to have Ponderosa Elementary School here to lead us in the pledge. Will everyone please stand?
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to take a quick picture with the kids. We'll stay up here, and if the principal will come and join, that'd be great. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Madam Chair, there are none.
All right, we'll turn the time over to Dr. Bubb for reports and spotlights.
Madam Chair, trustees, just a few celebrations before we get started. In addition to obviously men's and women's hockey winning the gold this weekend, we had some other amazing sporting events. I'd just like to celebrate here locally, almost as big as that, probably not there, but Eagle High School girls basketball won a 6A state championship. And then Hawaii High School girls basketball won the 6A academic state championship. And Mountain View Dance won the 6A academic state championship. So congratulations. I think all of that, anybody that knows high school athletics and activities, trying to balance that with academics, I think really shows some diversification in their skills and their abilities, and being able to time manage will be something that they can carry on for a long period of time. So now I'd like to bring up Casey Choate to talk a little bit about the work being done over at Ponderosa.
Good evening, Madam Chair Frazier, trustees, Dr. Bubb, and members of the executive team. I am honored to have this opportunity to share with you some of the highlights at Ponderosa Elementary. At Ponderosa, our students soar high to create lifelong learners and productive citizens. We live by our core commitments each day, strive to do our best, own our actions, always work together, and respect yourselves and others. These values guide our classroom, hallways, playground, and create a positive learning environment. High quality instruction is at the heart of what we do. In this photo, we have Atlas Farnham, a first grader, who is modeling how we use a special spelling mat as a part of our SB reading, which is explicit systematic phonics instruction. This is just one example of how best first instruction happens in every classroom every day at Ponderosa. Examples of this success is found in third grade, where 60% of our students are performing at or above grade level in reading, and 96% of students that exited kindergarten at or above grade level in reading. Our focus is on explicit instruction. It reflects our commitment to giving every student the tools that they need to succeed. We are always working to grow our learning and achieve proficiency for all students. Our iReady benchmark assessment shows steady growth in both reading and math. These data points help guide our instruction, our interventions, and goal setting as we continue to strive for growth and improved outcomes for every learner. We believe learning extends beyond the classroom walls. Our commitment to developing the whole child includes opportunities that promote healthy habits, goal setting, and personal achievement. Students who participate in our running program, Pacers, during recess are not only building endurance and lifelong fitness skills, but they also have an opportunity to earn a free book of their choice from our book vending machine. This initiative reinforces both physical wellness and a love for reading. We are proud to celebrate student learning in meaningful ways. Throughout the year, we recognize grade levels that achieve 100% attendance, reinforcing the importance of showing up, staying engaged, and committing to excellence. Celebrating growth, effort, and achievement is a part of who we are. Ponderosa is also unique within the West Ada School District, as we are the only school that offers the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program, which is DHH. We are honored to provide this specialized support, including access to a teacher of the deaf, educational interpreters, and sign language assistants, ensuring that every student has access to learning. Our DHH program reflects our deep commitment to inclusion, equity, and belonging. Each year, we have Santa, who knows everything, including ASL, make a visit to Ponderosa. And in our picture, we have students in our DHH program that are current students and past students visiting with Santa. Lastly, I would also like to share an event that truly reflects the strength of our school community. A few weekends ago, on a Saturday afternoon, we had a pipe that burst in the ceiling of a first grade classroom. That single pipe created flooding that overflowed into 5 different classrooms. Fortunately, we only had to relocate one class of first graders, Miss Holmes' class. There is a saying that help comes when you need it most, and that cannot have been more true. With soaked desk supplies, learning materials, and classroom libraries soaked in water, many people immediately stepped up to help. I would like to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt thank you to Dr. Reinhardt, Dr. Barrett, Laura Knudsen, and Paige Holm, our classroom teacher, and many Ponderosa staff members who came in over the weekend to relocate a classroom and support the cleanup. When Monday arrived, students were back to learning and did not miss a beat. One first grader walked into the new classroom and said, "It's just like our old classroom, but mirrored." I would say that that is some impressive vocabulary for a first grader. And it truly was mirrored. It was across the hallway and absolutely mirrored. This moment is the best example of what makes Ponderosa such an amazing school community with a dedicated staff. We are collaborative, we have teamwork, and unwavering commitment to supporting the learning of all of our students. Thank you for this opportunity to share the incredible work happening at Ponderosa.
Thank you so much, and we got you in the picture with all the kids, so we won't make you go through that again, but thank you. We really do appreciate all you're doing.
Casey, before you go, I will just say, as just a piece of what our community does, the Santa Claus, I was able to attend the Santa Claus Day with our students, our deaf and hard of hearing students. It is, if you want something that'll change your life and change your perspective, I'm going to tell you what, that's it. It was an incredible experience seeing 5, 6-year-olds being able to communicate for the first time and having Santa Claus being able to communicate back. Absolutely life-changing. I appreciate that. That's always a priority for your students. Next up, we have, so I'll give a little background story before we have Eagle Middle School come up. Eagle Middle School students emailed me and said, "We watch your board meetings." So I think you might have been one of 3 students or 3 people that watch our board meetings. We appreciate the fact that you might have paid attention. Ms. Lyons might have told you to do this. But I got a request that we have high school students speak at the board meetings. We have elementary students say the pledge, and elementary principals speak at the board meetings. And what about our middle schools? And so when students request, we try to make that happen. And we're very proud to have some of our Eagle Middle School students here. And we have Ms. Lyons and Mr. McCaslin-Hahn here to support them and talk a little bit about things going on at Eagle Middle School.
Good evening, Chair Frazier, valued board members, Dr. Bubb, and members of the executive team. Thank you for this opportunity to share the incredible things occurring at Eagle Middle School. It's an honor to serve as the principal. We take pride in our core values at Eagle Middle and set the bar high for everyone in our community to be safe, respectful, be responsible, and be your best. We have a committee that chooses a guiding principle at the start of every school year. This year, our guiding principle is good things grow here. We are excited to share with you tonight the good things that are growing at Eagle Middle School. Culture building is a huge emphasis throughout our school. We feel it's important to share your appreciation with those who make an impact on your life. Staff recognize other staff members with You Rock cards. Staff get to recognize students with COLT cards, which are similar to the You Rock cards, and acknowledgments for individual core values witnessed throughout the school. We are proud of the number of students that have been acknowledged so far this year. We brought 2 new awards to the school just this past semester, where we have Scholars of the Month, where there are 2 kids from every grade level that are chosen as winners, and then the Heart of Eagle Award, which goes to the students that exemplify the core values and embody what we want every EMS student to model in our community every day. And the students and parents asked me right when I started if there was a way that they could recognize staff members. So we created the Staff Member of the Month that is nominated and chosen by parents and students. And now I'd like to take a moment to invite the Heart of Eagle Middle School to come up and share. So our incredible student council.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Board. At the end of last school year, our students scored 78% proficient on the ELA ISAT and 66% proficient on the Math ISAT, both of which are above the district and state averages. Over 1/3 of our students scored advanced on the ELA and Math ISATs. This year, 517 of our students showed growth on their ELA iReady, and 741 showed growth on their Math iReady. We are proud of the growth our students showed in their learning, and we are grateful for the work our teachers put in to support student learning.
There are 2 programs that highlight the wonderful things we're doing to help our students grow at Eagle Middle School. Our filmmaking classes, taught by Miss Poplar, have excelled at the Catbed Trailer Contest this year, with 4 EMS student groups placing in the top 10, and our students placing 1st and 3rd place. These students each earned a $300 prize. We're very proud of them. Each year, our filmmaking students are given the opportunity to compete in various local and statewide festivals and contests. In addition to the hard work they put in to compete, they also have some fun creating videos for EMS Last Week, a weekly video series highlighting all of the great things happening in our building.
Our career classes taught by Ms. Spires go above and beyond in exploring student strengths, career options, and future planning. Students hear from 15 guest speakers from different career paths each semester, giving them a first-hand account of what job entails. They identify their personal strengths, and they must market those strengths in mock interviews with parent volunteers, and create a resume that can be used to apply for jobs as they enter high school. A great example of how our teachers are working to make their lessons relevant to our lives. Around 490 students participate in sports in EMS each year. This is over half our students. 68% of our 8th graders and 58% of our 7th graders participated in sports. We also have 47% of our 6th graders participate. We emphasize 6th grade participation, and we are one of the few middle schools who offer cheer for 6th grade. This year, our football team won the district championship in an 18-6 win against Sawtooth Middle. Our volleyball teams went undefeated in the regular season. Our cheer team has attended 2 competitions. In the first competition, they played first, the sideline event, and the second place in stunt. Their second competition, they placed first in both events.
At Eagle Middle, we have 11 recognized clubs for students to join. Across all 3 grade levels, 330 students belong to a club. Good things grow at Eagle Middle, and we would like to highlight some of the clubs that make that happen.
Athletic leadership has been a part of EMS for 4 years. Our athletic directors advise athletic leadership students. They follow the Idaho School Activities Association Captain's Handbook, which helps them build skills to succeed in high school sports. They host our annual Veterans Day Assembly and quarterly events to help bring EMS students together in friendly competition.
Action Club is a large group of students, staff, and parents that work to get our students involved in the community. They have worked with the elderly by visiting assisted living homes, and they are beginning a new project called Coins for Kids to support foster care in our community. One of the best things Action Club does is to give our parents a way to support leadership in our students.
Student Council has found new ways to support our school facilities and culture this year. We wanted to find a new way for students to get to know their teachers, so we started Teacher Tunes. Each teacher has submitted one of their favorite songs with a brief story, and we play those songs during Monday morning announcements. It's a great way to kick off our week. To support our counselors in student learning, student council members who are in filmmaking also work to make videos for 6th and 7th grade registration with examples of student work and student interviews. Another notable club that we would like to highlight is our debate club. They work directly with Eagle High School, giving the students experience working with the high school debate team.
One of our biggest events is our Veterans Day Assembly. Our athletic leadership team hosts this annual assembly to recognize family members of our students and staff, as well as additional community members who have served in our country. This year we had 31 veterans attend.
We are grateful for the level of community support that we receive, and we would like to highlight our parent and community involvement in supporting our students. So far, we have had 18 guest speakers this year with another 17 planned. One notable guest speaker is an Idaho fish and game biologist that comes to speak with our 7th grade science classes. One of our science teachers, Ms. Fenner, hatches rainbow trout in her classroom, and Fish and Game discusses the process with our students. We've had 27 parent volunteers in classrooms and over 100 parent volunteers come to our building to help us with day-to-day tasks, supervision, and support with events.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share some of the wonderful things happening at Eagle Middle School.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. I am certain at your age I could never have done that. That was amazing. We would love to get a picture with you. Can we invite you to come up and your administration? We'd love to have everybody in.
Eagle Middle School, I am so impressed. We are actually going to continue this on with other middle schools. So I will say Ms. Lyons sits on our employee experience committee, and she brought this up to me for the first time. I'm glad you did. We will absolutely continue this on. So thanks so much for your leadership. Next, we have the Renaissance High School. Talk a little bit. Yep.
Trustee Benetti?
I think I don't want to, just before Eagle Middle School goes, I have two daughters, my last of which is in 8th grade, who's going to be leaving. I've had 6 years, wonderful experience with EMS, really appreciate it. And Ms. Spires in particular, with the career classes that was mentioned, she made all the students sort of write down orthodontry and club volleyball and food and everything. And my daughter came home and said, "Dad, I cost you a lot of money." It's like, yes, you do. But thank you for Ms. Spires for that, and for all the teachers and staff for the wonderful experience. And I'm going to miss you guys. And Ms. Lyons, yes, I'm going to volunteer to go do the EMS at EHS. Yes, I know. She asked me to do it. I will do it. I will do it. There's my answer right now. RSVP. But thank you for everything that you do for our students, and I personally want to thank you for what you've done for my two daughters. Thank you.
I don't know how you follow that up, but I would love to have the Mrs. Eddy come up and talk a little bit about the great things going on at Renaissance High School.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Bubb. I am very excited to stand before you today and introduce several of our student council members. I wanted to point out that unlike a traditional high school, our students do not have student council as a class this year. So everything that they have accomplished and will speak to in this segment of the presentation, because the one earlier bragged about a lot of the other accomplishments they've been able to achieve as a school and a student council. So this evening, they'll be speaking to you about things that they are doing 100% on their own and independent of a class time to get it done and accomplished. And with us today is Henry Georget, who is our ASB Vice President, and Gracie Wynn, our Junior Class Vice President, and our advisor, Michaela Richmond.
Hello, good evening. My name is Gracie Wynn, and as Ms. Eddy just said, I am the Junior Class Vice President.
And then I'm Henry Georget, and I'm the ASB Vice President.
And this is Renaissance's year in a wrap, more specifically our last semester, the second semester, and all of the achievements that we've made so far.
Okay, so let's just talk some statistics about our school. We offer, 3 different programs, 2 that are International Baccalaureate, the IB Career Program, and the IB Diploma Program. Within the IB Diploma Program, right now, just for seniors, we have 17 full IB DP seniors, but there's many more taking IB classes where they can earn credit that can even transform into concurrent credit that gets applied to colleges. We also have 40 full IB CP seniors right now, but many more taking CTE classes both in and out of Renaissance. That also are getting CTE diplomas and certifications and many other things that will benefit their career. And then for our Associates of Arts, we offer the full 2-year-long Associates of Arts degree, and we have 76 full Associates of Arts seniors, with many more graduating with a lot of either college credit or they're just taking a lot of college classes and getting ahead within that.
Next, we want to bring up our all-state ensemble. We have 9 of Renaissance's musicians who were chosen to perform very difficult music and perform with some of the best high school musicians that Idaho has to offer. And then next we have RHS, Renaissance's FCCLA chapter, and some of our successes. Alex won gold and first place for baking and pastry. Tiffin won second in fashion construction, and Copper, Fiona, and Clara won second in chapter review display, which was essentially just going over some of the successes that we've had as a chapter. And we also had great turnouts at this year's Rake Up Boise. We were able to complete 4 houses within the matter of 2 hours, and this was one of the best turnouts that we've had so far. And then we also have Akadeca and their successes at regionals. They won first place, and they have a 20% lead on their competitors who won second place, and they also have state coming up next month. And then finally we have Thespians Guild, who worked hard to produce a Midsummer Night's Dream, and our Thespians Guild did a great job with that. They also have another production coming up before the end of the semester, and I'm sure they'll do great with that as well.
Okay. Now, we just wanted to highlight some of our 27 clubs that we have here at Renaissance, just all these bits and pieces that make Renaissance super unique. And I just wanted to go through a few that haven't really been mentioned so far, starting with the Renaissance Report. This is our school's broadcasting where we put out weekly videos along with a few other things. Dr. Bubb was on it last week, so that was pretty cool. And then we have Sources of Strength, which I'm sure you guys have heard of that. It's just a way to boost kind of like school spirit and school strength within students, and just make sure that everyone's having a good time. Speech and debate. We actually are having our, is it state debate or soon?
State debate and state speech coming up, which in the past we've won Division I state for both speech and debate.
and we're excited to see how they do here. The Lighthouse, we are, as far as we can recall, definitely in the district, like the largest independent student-run tutoring center where we teach and tutor in science, world languages, which are Spanish and Mandarin, English, and writing, and then in math also. So we have did I mention science? Oh, and science. So yeah, just all across those departments, we have a lot of people that are coming in, getting consulted, and a lot of consultants that are there to help our students. It's been working really well, and it's been really official this year. It's just been great. TSA is our engineering club where they put together a lot of crazy projects, and they are competing right now, and it's a hard time for them. It's stressful, but it is so cool to see what they do. STEMsters is a new club that was started this year where high school students go out to elementary schools and help and teach little fun STEM activities and do little experiments with like children, and just to help explore and expose kids to STEM. And then we also have HOSA, which is our medical club, and they've been doing a lot of great stuff. They've hosted 2 blood drives so far this year that have had great turnout, and just they're a club that's really there for competing and giving back to the community. And of course, our lovely student council, which we will mention on the next slide. And those were just some of the many clubs that we have. Seriously, our clubs are crazy at Renaissance. It's so awesome to have them all. But now with student council, so far since we met last, we put on our winter dance, which was a Northern Lights theme to it. It was hosted in the White Cloud Auditorium, so just within this building, and our turnout was very successful. It was very good, colorful, beautiful lights, and for what we put together in the lighthouse, the White Cloud's limited space to decorate, it really turned out great, and the feedback that we received so far on it has been phenomenal. With that, we've also had 3 Spirit Days, and here are some of our favorite photos so far on them.
Something that Renaissance never fails to do is show their school spirit, and this is something that we can see in lots of these photos. Our students love these spirit weeks, and we really love putting them on.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to the person that brought a whole Christmas tree on a cart in the school. That was really fun. So, and with that, just for planning ahead, we have 2 big events that we want to talk about so far. Just prom, it's going to be so good. We have a great venue picked out. We're really excited to share how that went next year during our next presentation. And we also do our Renaissance versus IFA competition, the Roundabout Rumble, as we both share that one roundabout in the middle. So it's going to be a great time. We're going to compete in early April with kickball. Whoever wins that gets a point. Whoever wins like cheer and spirit gets a point, and whoever wins a head-on teacher versus teacher trivia gets a point, and they get to determine the winner of the roundabout.
Renaissance won last year, and we're looking forward to another successful victory.
Yeah. And with that, that is all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Go Voyagers.
Well, thank you so much. That was amazing. I feel like there was a miss. I feel like Alex, our baking champion, was there a reason we didn't have samples? That could be great. Okay, if we could take a picture, that'd be great. You guys did a great job.
Great job, guys. Thank you.
Good job. Well done. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. And then are you both new now? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. So this is Megan Brown and Evelyn Nicola. Really nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Richmond, before you take off, we did mention that the students do a lot of work in their off time. We also recognize that you too do a lot of work during your off time. So thank you so much for being an advisor for our student council at Renaissance.
All right, before we move on to patron input, I do need to mention that we are missing one trustee. Trustee Azuna, she is out of town this evening, and I As we get ready to start voting, we need to excuse her. With that, I'm open to patron input. We didn't have anyone sign up this evening. I will just always remind everybody, it's 2 minutes that each person would get. We want to make sure it always stays to that high level. Never are we talking about staff or students or any individual. We talk about policy and procedure. Always keep it in the patron input section to those things that are agendized. And again, invite anybody to come and speak to those things in the future that feel like they'd like to. Now, I am open to a motion on consent agenda. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we accept the consent agenda unanimously.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Trustee McCall. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries 4-0. With that, we will move on to old business and begin with policy 604.10, artificial intelligence, and invite Ms. McDonough to come up.
Good evening, Board Chair, Trustees, Dr. Bubb. I am here to present the third reading and action on policy 604.10, artificial intelligence. It has not changed since our last reading, but I'm open to questions if there are any.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'm open to a motion. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we accept policy 604-10, artificial intelligence, as presented.
And is there a second? Trustee McCullough.
I second it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That moves us to new business. We will begin with Ms. Sinander, our Chief Human Resource Officer, come up and talk to us about rescinding policy 503.9.
All right, good evening, Chair Frazier, trustees, and Dr. Bubb. Let's see. Trying to see if it would come up. I have before you a first reading and recommendation for action as the policy committee continues to review its review of section 500 student success. It was determined that policy 503.90 commercial tours more appropriately aligns with personnel procedures rather than student policy. And as a result, the language from policy 503.90 has been incorporated into the administrative regulation 403.50 AR6, which is merchandising, which is where it more accurately reflects its operational intent. So we recommend the board take action to rescind policy 503.90 and accept the updates in the administrative regulation 403.50 AR6. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any comments or questions? Seeing none, I'm open to a motion. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we rescind policy 503.90, commercial tours, as presented.
Is there a second? Trustee McCullough.
I second it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. I am open to a motion. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we accept Administrative Regulation 403.50 AR6 Personnel Conduct as presented.
Is there a second? Trustee McCullough.
I second it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you so much. That will bring us to Ms. McDonough once again. If you'd please join us for an academic data update.
Back again, Madam Chair, trustees, Dr. Bubb. It is a pleasure actually to present this part, although the kids that came up and the principals that presented before me probably could have done some of my data points for me. What you see is that we value learning significantly and it shows up in lots of ways. I think it also shows that we measure lots of things, and we do that because in the business of school, everything contributes to student learning. So I also want to if you noticed that Amy Larson is here tonight, she is our Director of Data-Driven Response, and I should give her credit for much of what went into the AI policy, her contributions there, and then of course the work that we're doing with measuring really what matters in West Data. So I thought I'd start with a couple of bright spots. So our early literacy data, our kindergarten, I'm going to give you just a couple to kind of tease with the rest of the presentation, but we are very proud of this January proficiency number. Right now, over 82% of our students are scoring proficient at the kindergarten level. There is a time in my career that I remembered that that data point seemed unreachable. And now it is really how we do business. So as the Eagle Middle School student said, I loved this so much I wrote it down. She said, "We're so grateful for the work our teachers put in for student learning." This is really the evidence of the work that our teachers have put in, and now this has become the standard in West Ada, which is pretty exciting. On the other end of that, this data, ironically, just came out a few weeks ago. It is our graduation rate. There's some things that have to trickle down, and then it is published. Our graduation rate for the spring of the class of 2025 was 89%. I had the pleasure of sharing with a spotlight moment at Meridian High, where for the first time in their history hit 95% of their graduation rate was 95%. Yes, and Brian Murphy and his team celebrated with Jill Lillienkamp, the former principal, and I will tell you what, it was an amazing day at Meridian High. Ironically, these two data points, when I picked them, they were just such bright spots, but they really tell this story, which is the academic story, the beginning to the end. Why I love this picture especially is these were kids who graduated in 2025, and they were mine as kindergartners at Frontier. And I had the privilege of meeting them there, and that is the story of every teacher in West Ada, because that's what we're shooting for, that's what success looks like. And so I hope that Amy and I have crafted a story around that helps you see all of the components that we measure outside of just student outcomes, while student outcomes being, of course, our target. So in teaching and learning, it's the things that we measure are around instruction, curriculum, and assessment for an upward trend in all things. Really, we want to get 1% better every day. That's always our goal. So we monitor through a benchmark system. Most of you are aware of that. You hear that talked about with the IRI. You also hear that talked about with iReady. Our kids were talking about it today, which I always love. That really is progress, monitoring our progress from 3 levels, 3 times a year, fall, winter, spring, from a district level, which we call the satellite data, and then a rooftop level, which is really the school data, and then student by student is called street level data. When we look at that monitoring system, it's beyond just we're checking our system's readiness. Also, are we meeting our goals? Are we hitting the target? It all begins with high quality instruction. And when we look at how we are identifying our priorities and are we seeing evidence of that in our schools. So this year, as you know, we've spoke about before, increasing student clarity in learning, discourse, and then explicit instruction in math and in K2 phonics. When we talk about explicit instruction, what's important about that, it's really that must do, must know concept, that content that students we can't leave to chance. And you're seeing that remnant in our data. So we measure that too. We measure how many teachers we're training. We measure how systematically that's put into place. So K2, 100% of our K2 teachers have been trained in explicit systematic phonics instruction. We believe that that is contributing significantly to our results right now. When you look at what those numbers are, a small and mighty team started last year, and recently over 400. I think our recent number is 444, but I saw someone getting trained the other day who is newly hired, so we might be at 445. Again, that's a systematic approach to professional learning, not just leaving that to chance. The same with 3 through 12 mathematics. Again, explicit instruction through direct modeling. Currently, we're at about 90% of teachers being trained in this, and that equals about 585 of 3rd through 12. So again, a systematic approach, then measuring our progress to make sure we're hitting it. And then finally, what does implementation look like? In this case, the teaching and learning team have been on multiple visits, actually over about 600 classroom visits. Again, that is directors of instruction, coordinators, consultants, and really what we're looking at are the strategies that we're invested in, are they being implemented? Are they doable for teachers? Can they take a training and the next day apply it? I will tell you, rarely have I been so impressed with our teachers showing up for something and the next day walking into their room, sometimes with a small army, and watching them try it. That's how we get better. And I can with confidence say at 100% of our schools, all 58, our priorities are being implemented, and it's observable in every school at some level. And now the development starts. So that gets us to more student outcomes, which again is the data part of this presentation, but the story is so important to all of the other things also. So K-3 literacy, again, that's a benchmark assessment, so we look at that at the district level, how are we performing, school level, and then of course at the student level. So currently K through 3, we are at 79% plus proficient. That means almost 80% of our kids are scoring proficient already. Again, we think the systematic approach to instruction is what is lending to those consistent results, is that it is guaranteed. It happens in every school every day across West Ada, and that is quite a feat. And we are pretty proud of our teachers for that, because that only happens when teachers see something good for kids and are willing to change their practice. That's it. That's what it takes, is for somebody to say the results matter. Because when we live in that 80 or almost 80, we don't live there very long. It's really the 20% that we're always chasing. Same with graduation rate. Benchmark, you heard about iReady today. That is, again, a systems check. It gets down to the student level, but we always want to make sure that our system, we're providing teachers the resources and support. District-wide, we're looking for upward trends. The bottom bar is the first assessment kids took at the beginning of the year. The top bar is the second one they took mid-year. We'll have a third one at the end of the year. Just a quick tip, you want less red and more green. So we're making good progress in that area. And again, we look at it at the district level from a systems. What do we need to make sure we're ensuring? What are the gaps and overlaps? And then at the teams at the individual levels. Lastly is high school, which has been an interesting process for this year. Not that it's new, because our high schools have been tracking this information, but one thing that we decided as a district system, that we would really look at the at-risk factors of track to graduate. Because when we get to the high school level, our measure of success is really, at the end of 4 years, do they walk across the stage and receive their diploma? So we know that there's at-risk factors that contribute to a decrease in maybe engagement or an increase in engagement. And those are pretty predictable. It's grades, attendance and tardies, and discipline incidents. So what we see happen at the grade level is that at the district level, we're monitoring Ds and Fs as part of a benchmark system for fall, winter, and spring. There was some reports today that we are probably at a record low in terms of that, which means that we're responding effectively through our systems. Some of that is happening, most of that happens at the building level. They are monitoring and responding with interventions, with additional support, advisory times, individual plans, and then that progress monitoring is around skill level, also around their completion level. But again, all of those things factor in, and as a district level, we're always looking to make upward trends, that high quality instruction is lending to more. So you can see how the picture kind of completes that full circle, which is pretty important to us. I think our high schools should also be credited for the amount of work that they do around this, is that when you walk into a high school and you talk to a counseling secretary or an administrator of their juniors and seniors or the registrar, they know which kids, which credits, who's on track, who's not, by name, by face. I mean, we know that work is happening, and then as a district system, how do we make sure it's not just pockets of excellence? How do we make sure that every school is at least at 95%? So that's the work that we're always trying to do. And then, of course, attendance. So currently, we are on an overall average. High school attendance has increased from last year at this time. We always, again, want an upward trend. I hesitate to give you the percentage, but I will. It's just under 1% improvement. But what's interesting about that is that might not sound very impressive, and that data is actually pretty impressive, because when you look at our high school enrollment numbers, on average, that means 91 more high school students are present in their classes at school every day. So we really have to pull from that data and then look at opportunities to grow that. So all of those pieces, and Amy is part of that gathering and collecting and sorting and separating, and then her team looking at that, all of those complete our story for us. And it's making sure that those systematic things along the way are taken care of, so that all kids have the best shot, clearly. Finally, although it's not in my picture, I felt like I needed to share this data because we're so proud of it. And I think it's part of the academic story that Marcus and I share. Again, do our decisions impact teaching and learning? I think our data indicates that they do. I think our investment in our teachers and the high quality professional learning. And then I think on the academic side of student support, we're always asking the question, are we eliminating barriers? I think we're also asking with CTE, are they ready to launch? And so college and career rated data, this is just another impressive example for first semester. And rumor is that first semester is the slow time, that this really picks up second semester. But when you take a look at that number, the second one especially, 20,000, I'm sorry, that's 20,000, not $20,000. 20,000, over 20,000 dual credits were earned. And that equals in advanced opportunity funds, just West Ada kids, over $1.5 million. That happens through the hard work of our schools, making sure kids and families know what's available to them. The second piece there that I think is worthy of sharing in some of the work that Marcus Myers and his team has done, and also Will Shoemaker, it's really the tracking of CTE certifications, assessment, skill stacking, all of those things. When you look at the national average graduation rate, Will one time shared was over 98% for students enrolled in some sort of CTE pathway. And so I think that gives us a good lens. Currently, 68% of our high school students are enrolled in a CTE course of some sort, and 90% have taken a CTE course in their high school career. So again, that piece of like through our journey of our story, what we measure, what matters, and then are we preparing them to launch? So I know that I took you on a story instead, a little storytelling instead of just flat data, but I hope you could see the big picture, because what we hope to do is start bringing that comparable data back so you can see the upward trend that I'm confident that we'll see when we have consistent data to show that. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
That was amazing. Comments or questions? Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Do you have something? Okay, I didn't want to stop you. No, wow. 4 years I've been here and watched this process really take hold. West Ada has always been, I think, the top level of education. Our kids had such a great experience here, but this is amazing. I mean, to have an individual stand up here and say, I never thought we could reach this level of literacy. I never thought this was possible. Wow. I'm a little bit speechless. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, and thank you for all the hard work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, trustees, Dr. Bubb. I just want to reference too is that I'm lucky enough to get the launch of this. A lot of this work started, it's been going on for years, but the work that Marcus started in academics that I was lucky enough to have the privilege to take over, and then this hardworking team I have is just amazing. We're always looking for how to get that other percent, and the best part of that is our teachers are too. And that's, I wouldn't say unique to education, but I would say that it matters in West Ada. It always matters, and you saw it in our kids tonight too, and I love that so much. So thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, that takes us to good of the order. We didn't have anyone sign up. No, you may not. We had no one sign up, so just like in the opportunity to speak in patron input, you get 2 minutes here. The difference is that you can speak to anything, but that does still need to be within the realm of policy procedure and never to any staff or any student or any individual. So again, just anyone that has that desire, those are the rules. Any future agenda items? Seeing none, I'm open to a motion to adjourn. Trustee McCullough?
Motion to adjourn?
Is there a second? Trustee Brown? Perfect.
I second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We will adjourn at 6:49.